It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
It has been a very long time since we've been graced with the presence of my wife, Anna. Hello.
But I don't know why. I think you got, jealous because
I got jealous of your success.
no, my podcasts that I'm on are historically viewed more.
For sure. I think if you want pure transparency, you ready?
Yeah.
I felt like I got roasted a lot by you, and I was very sensitive to it. That was the problem. So it was a me thing, for sure.
Do you think that you felt like you got roasted because you tried to steer me in certain directions and I didn't bite the bait?
Yeah, I think I did a bad job of leading the conversation correctly. But we're going to be back with a vengeance. I'm not going to announce yet how frequently you're going to be back, but we're working on something that could be very, very fun.
Are you getting used to being roasted outside of the podcast?
I always do. I think at the time it was hard because I would get roasted on the radio, and I would just be so sick of it. And then I would get roasted by you, and it was like, I can't do this at home also.
That's part of being
now I'm not
famous.
Yeah, right. But now I'm not on the radio, so I can handle a little roastation station.
I don't know whether to look at the camera.
I know where do you look.
I'm not used to being filmed. Now, I will say I am entering my third trimester next week. And so I don't know that being in front of the camera is,
It wasn't your favorite thing.
I just didn't know.
Yeah. And not everyone's watching. There's not a lot of people watch.
Okay.
So you don't need to worry about that. A lot of people will listen, and I appreciate those people. But there are some people who watch on YouTube, and they can see Anna on YouTube and Baby Woods, who is fully
is big. He's or just I'm big. When people are like, "Oh, the baby's big," no, the baby's not big. It's just the mom's big, and that's fine. That's me right now. I know for a fact that Woods is probably 2 pounds, and I eat McDonald's for every meal, and I polish it off with chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream every night from Freshies, which is the best ice cream ever.
Okay, Anna, you introduced me to this place in Lexington. That's great. We love our ice cream. We love our ice cream nights. During summer, I feel like we really enjoyed an ice cream night in Spokane. We would go to that ice cream place in Kendall occasionally.
Yeah, and the Scoop.
And the Scoop up on the South Hill. I'm trying to remember the Kendall Yards place because we like that.
I wish I could say we did more local stuff. But at the end of the day, we go to Dairy Queen.
We go to Dairy Queen. We were a big Dairy Queen. And I shout out to Josh Cox for doing that. He did the neighborhood
neighbors
thing.
They used to all kind of take turns.
Billy would bring up during the DQ blizzards every now and then. That text would go out to the neighborhood group, and it was like, "Who needs what? I'm bringing DQ back to the hood."
That was nice. We need to fire up the troops down here.
We do. We need to meet some neighbors just to get the Dairy Queen rolling back through.
Hey,
but
we'd like to only be friends if you do Dairy Queen deliveries.
My favorite one was Freshies was when Chick-fil-A opened in Spokane, and you and Josh Cox are Southerners. You guys were excited about it and would go up there. You would take turns every other week.
And nobody wanted it.
Someone would go up, and just the two of you would want it. And
I'd be like, "Oh, who wants Chick-fil-A?" And it would just be Josh.
And then Billy would go down to the Chinese restaurant, and everyone would respond.
How often do I go to Chick-fil-A here? Now that we moved here,
Lance.
and there's one on every corner.
There's always, I know because there's always a half-drank soda or Sprite in the.
I don't know why I do that. I put it in the refrigerator, excited because a fast food soda is the best. I never say soda, so I don't know why I said that. It's because of you.
I've settled into soft drink. Jovi's trapped.
The dog.
She's going to pull the cords out of my computer. Jovi is frantic these days.
Yeah, well, she's got diarrhea. A cup
she does.
of anything from a fast food restaurant is better than just if you buy it at the grocery store. And so a crispy, delicious Sprite from Chick-fil-A is so good, but I don't want to drink the whole thing because I just spend all my time peeing. Then I put it in the fridge, and you forget it just tastes like doo-doo pie within an hour.
Yeah, it's not great.
Watered down.
It's not great. I always end up drinking it.
I took a sip today of my one from yesterday, and I was like, but why?
Yeah, it's not the one. Can we just get into the bowel movement portion of the podcast? Then we're going to get into a little conversation from our weekend trip.
My bowel movement?
I just have a question for you. Well, a couple things. One, where's the weirdest place you've peed in this pregnancy?
I peed. I had to drive to Nashville for something. I don't remember what it was the last time I had to drive there.
Yeah.
And I just peed in the car because I am so tired of washing my hands because they are cracked and dry because I pee so much and I wash them so much.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, if I don't go into a gas station. And so I just peed in the car. I was not driving.
In a what?
In a cup.
You pulled over?
I pulled over and I peed in a cup.
Man, you're good at that. You're good at that. I tried that on the trip to Detroit for my first time ever.
If I was a boy,
well, you got. I mean, it's. I didn't want
you stick your thing in the cup, and be done. Are you kidding?
I didn't have a big enough cup.
Pee at all time. Oh God. I would literally, if I was a man, and I had a ween, I would be peeing.
You'd be everywhere.
The limit would not exist. The second I felt the urge to pee, I'd be peeing.
Our son is too in love with the concept of that. By the way, I think if he was naked, he would pee everywhere all the time.
Yeah,
he would just love it.
It's about toilet time for him.
Yeah, he's gonna have to learn.
I actually do have a question for the people.
Yeah.
Do you train boys to pee standing up?
Okay, hit us up in the comments.
Do you know the answer?
Okay, so I have an idea, but
because I guess if we're out, he's not tall enough to pee in the toilet standing up.
Right, he's not at all. So I think you teach sitting at first.
But
and the reason
how
I
does it
say
not-
that is the Mickey Mouse toilet we got, or the Elmo one and the Mickey Mouse one, has a little lip, like a blockade, that assumes there's a boy.
I think that's for both.
Oh, really? Okay. I just assumed that was like you teach sitting down so that they learn
and
the
then
concept.
You say what? Push it down?
Yeah, then we work on accuracy. Then we work on target practice. And that's going to be a wild thing. And Huck is... the other question I wanted to ask you, and by the way, if you want to let us know, we would love to know. You can comment on the website,
Give us your best boy potty training tips.
Yep, Sean'sLife.com. There's a comment box there. If you listen on Spotify, you can comment there, or you can comment on YouTube, are the places you can get your comments in. Okay, Anna, when do you think the next week, and will we ever have a week where the entire family has a week of normal bowel movements? And the reason I bring that up is because Jovi has entered the conversation.
No, we never have and we never will. But one thing is this: the entire family could have diarrhea, the entire family, and Huck would not.
That's it's unbelievable. We had the stomach bug last weekend in the house, and it hit everyone. It didn't hit me. I got very fortunate. It didn't hit me, but it hit Olivia really hard, and it hit. And Huck, it should have hit. Everyone else in the family, friends.
It hit Huck hard. He just didn't have diarrhea. He just threw up.
He's constipated always.
Yeah, people talk about oh, I had a blowout. My baby had a blowout. We've never had one of those ever. Because our babies poop like bricks.
Yeah. He's just rocks. It's just a big rock. You can tell when he goes to the bathroom because his diaper hangs down into the back of his pants, down towards the back of his knee. It's
heavy. Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay. We had a fun family trip. I thought it was a fun family trip this weekend. I thought
it was fun.
Shifted around. We ended up going to Louisville instead of Cincinnati because of the stomach bug. So we pushed our trip back and did a little impromptu.
But I did love the hotel.
Anna, the hotel you picked out for us in Louisville was
spectacular. I love a Marriott, and the downtown hotel, the downtown Marriott at Louisville was great.
It was awesome. We did a lot of fun things there. But the first thing I wanted to bring up, we ran into, it's my favorite story of the trip. We ran into your friend. In one of my favorite moments of the trip when we were walking back to the hotel.
Panicked.
Anna is walking in front of everyone, and this girl is getting into this car. Anna waves at this girl. Because Anna knows, a lot of people because you work in an industry where you can just randomly run into people at conferences and stuff. And then you have a lot of friends, obviously, you grew up with in this area. And you waved at this girl and you were like, "What's going on, girl?"
I panicked.
Straight. And so Uncle Richard and I were like, "Oh, that's one of Anna's friends. It must be like a college friend or something." Who was it?
Okay. This girl who, first of all, on TikTok, it's like you don't choose who you see all the time. It's just whoever comes up on your algorithm. I don't go searching. It just happens to be that my algorithm is moms or whatever. Moms mostly.
Yeah.
And so this girl, she's been I see her all the time on TikTok.
Okay.
And she used to live in San Diego. And then they moved to Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
She's got 4 kids. One of her daughters cheers. And so there was a cheerleading competition at our hotel. So I saw her unloading like her car. And it kind of like, I was like, oh. And she was like, hey. Yeah, I mean, that has to happen a lot.
It has to.
But she has what did we look up? 2 million followers?
2 million followers on TikTok.
I have to say, though, I wasn't like super impressed because I saw her the next morning when I was getting coffee and I was like, oh my gosh, like, be my friend.
Yeah, come on, girl.
I know everything about your life.
It was hilarious, too, because
I didn't like her. She had a slight attitude and I did feel like she was like this all the time.
Yeah. When the realization, though, hit in for you.
Yeah,
who you had
embarrassed.
waved at was a great moment because you
all
realized
of you guys were like,
who is
that? Was that your friend?
And then you realize like that was just a random person I see on TikTok all the time.
I said, oh my gosh, hey.
I kind of momentarily fangirled. It was a great moment.
I did. I mean, has that ever happened to you?
No, I wanted to.
Remember in Spokane, I would see like the girl who did my Botox too, the beauty nurse, and I loved her. Yes. And we saw her once at a restaurant, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, the beauty nurse!"
That was the big one for you. That was the big one.
Is so nice.
Yes, very.
Now
much.
I feel like I know her personally because she did my Botox for so long, but like, she was great. I miss her.
That was a fun moment for a very fun trip. I felt bad for you. You had to. Our son, of course, coughed through the night.
Yeah, he had like it was a weird one.
And so he got to. I tried to make it so that because like you said, you're almost 3rd trimester. Sleeping is not the most comfortable thing for you right now.
Yeah. And
so we were kind of hoping that you'd have a fun, relaxing night of sleep. Olivia and I shared a bed, and I love that. And then we thought Huck would be in his
pack and play
in his casket, and I don't know. I couldn't think of pack and play.
Oh my god!
In his baby jail, and
tent would do.
He started coughing so much you had to get him in your bed, and so it ruined like the one night in a nice hotel.
Yeah, but he was sweet. I hate it. Like Sean likes to sleep with our kids, and it makes me want to absolutely like just not do that ever.
Like my dream is to have both kids draped all over me, snuggling and snoring.
Huck I felt like we were gonna have to continue to get up. I feel like the air was blowing on him in a way, and it was causing allergies or something, like a dry cough. And so he just was gonna cry and cry, and I was like, I can't do this all night. And we were all sleeping in the same room. So I just took him out and put him in my bed. And he loved it.
First time he's ever done that.
Hey, mommy's bed?
Mommy's bed.
And he loved it. He's like you. He was like this.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a nightmare.
So between him all over you and you said me farting
No,
and
I would
snoring
literally, first of all, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, so edit it out if you need to.
Okay.
Every time you got up to do something that was helpful with Huck or Olivia or whatever, you had your hands scratching your balls the entire time, and the noise grated on my nerve. Like I was like, it was the middle of the night. Huck was crying, and it was just
had to make sure everything
it was so annoying. It was. I was like, what do you need to do? Take a shower, rinse them.
I guess so.
That drove me crazy, and then Huck would be like in my face, and he would and I didn't want to like separate him too much because I didn't want him to fall off the bed.
Yeah.
So like I was like on the very edge, and then Sean was in the other bed right like on the end. So I was like, Huck was like being annoying, and so I turned around, and turning around pregnant like when you're in bed is just like a feat in itself.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get all the pillows, put them between your legs and like over on the side and whatever.
It doesn't look comfortable.
I finally like turned around, and if Sean did not fart so loud and then like snore, which you're not much of a snorer.
I know. I wonder if there was something with the air in that room that was getting all of us.
And I could have killed them both. And then Olivia said it best the next day when I was telling Sean all of these things about himself. Olivia said, and the girls didn't make a peep. Mm-hmm. And I said, that's correct. We were just in there to sleep, which is what everyone else should have been doing. And next time, Sean and Huck can have their own room.
I agree. But it was a fun trip. We went to the zoo as well.
Yeah.
The zoo was pretty fun. Our kids really like animals, which was great. They rode a camel, which was hilarious.
I mean, kids' trips are
Olivia's
Wild.
hit a point where she's so into toys and stuffed animals.
The museum.
She couldn't enjoy the zoo
No, she couldn't.
because she saw stuffed animals as we walked in, and then for 2.5 straight hours she talked about how much she needed to see the stuffed animals.
Ever since she puked on some stuffed animals, I'm kind of done with them.
Yeah, we actually you threw
R.I.P.
You threw a couple
Sky.
away, and one of them she asked about tonight,
Yeah.
and we both froze.
Here's
and
the
then
deal.
she switched it and said, "Actually, I want the little version."
I have
and we were
several
like, oh, thank goodness.
bunnies, and I will like nuke them. Like I wash them and then I put them on the sanitized cycle to dry, and they are pretty resilient. And I have several.
Yeah, which is smart.
Sky had like a light, like a flashlight that included a battery.
It was like, this pup's got to fly.
And I couldn't do what I needed to do, and it got vomit on it.
Yeah.
And it had to go.
And thank goodness she has 1,000 animals she hasn't noticed yet. And
Well,
again,
I
tonight
would
she
just-
brought it up, and then she switched out, and we were like, thank goodness, girl, don't remember that. But she couldn't concentrate on the animals at the zoo. She could only think about the fact she wanted to look at the stuffed animals in the gift shop. That's all
And then
she could
she
think
came
about.
home and brought all of her stuffed animals onto her bed to introduce them to her new flamingo.
Which then was the cutest thing in the world. All of my anger towards her not paying attention, when she got out every animal and one by one introduced them, I was like, yeah, this is way better than
And
the-
all
the
I could think about
silverback
was
gorilla.
all of the germs on that flamingo.
I enjoyed you not necessarily knowing that a silverback gorilla is very dangerous.
I'm not saying that I didn't know that they were dangerous. I'm just saying they look so calm. Like they were just sitting there on their big butts eating lettuce. And it seems like I could walk in there and sit on my big butt and eat lettuce.
Right,
with
you're
it.
not afraid of a lettuce
But
eater.
every animal I asked about, you said, well, that's the most dangerous animal in the world.
Okay,
About
so
all of them.
Here's what I've heard. I've heard silverbacks are very, very dangerous.
I've never heard the term silverback for a monkey.
So the big ones that were sitting in the cage, I've heard those are very dangerous. I've always heard the story that hippopotamus kills the most people a year and are
No.
dangerous. That's always what I hear. I don't know where I've heard that, but I've heard it a bunch. I need to look
Yeah,
that one
where
up.
do you get your
And then I
information?
gotta say, every time I love lions and tigers. I love them. They look terrifying. And every
disagree.
we
The tiger was laying on his side the whole
That's true.
time, this close to the kids, separated by a thin glass wall,
yeah,
and could have cared less.
yeah.
You cannot tell me that had that wall not been there, that tiger would have done
I think it would have
anything.
taken our children to the
They were
end, to the
so
real casket.
close to it.
Yeah, they were.
And it's not like he was like, "Rah." Like the polar bear was like, "Ugh," like you could tell it was mad.
Yeah,
The lion or the tiger was like, okay.
yeah. That is true.
And
Yeah,
you don't
those
know-
things, though. Ever since I heard that story of the
you
cougar
don't know
that ate
what
the biker.
zoos. Well, yeah, because the biker was probably coming at it fast.
Yeah.
But these ones at the zoos, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
conspiracy maybe.
Okay.
I
Curdy,
feel like
don't
they
listen.
do some weird things to the zoo animals.
We should have called Kirsten on the drive at some point.
Yeah,
to get
like
the full
what?
scoop
Like
of-
why do they sleep the whole time?
Yeah.
Are they? Is that tiger pit? Is Tega pissed that it's in that?
right?
But
Is Tega
Tega's was nice.
was Tega pissed off that she was in that?
And
cage?
then the lady honestly overshared with the polar bears and the mating thing.
that was too much.
And it was like, what are we doing here, ma'am? Like she's like, oh, he likes to smell her, and like,
was
and
weird.
it was like, but we can't let him. We have to make sure that she wants to consent. So we can't let him in the same area yet. But you can tell he's ready, and he's like, and like all the kids are like, what?
She really liked it too much.
No, it was like,
She knew too
okay,
much
we
about
get it.
She's like, we spend a lot of time with these animals when you kids
Well,
aren't
it
around.
was just like she couldn't like she's like, you can tell he's a man, and it's like, okay, these are my 4-year-old.
Right.
Like, okay, we get it.
How?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to hit that button up in the top left corner? You want me to hit it?
It seems like you will,
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't know if you wanted to just push it. Hang on.
No, I don't. I'm not Huck.
Oh, it didn't go off. Hang on. I've got to do it again. It went up on video, but now I'll do it again and it'll go off. I'll hear it in the headset.
Kelly's, what are you into?
Okay, Anna, I do Kelly's What Are You Into at the end of this show.
Yes.
And we talk about something I'm into. And if you can
Okay.
think of something you're into, you're more than welcome to, but you may be into this as well.
Mm.
You opened my eyes to this.
Okay.
And I talked about it on Friday's podcast, and I would like to come back with the review. Waffle House slaps. Waffle House
is so good.
slaps. And it's
No,
so
instead
good.
of saying slaps now, I think the kids say it's bussin'.
Oh, Waffle House is bussin'. Well, that polar bear wanted to riz up the other polar bear. Is that what it is?
No, that's not correct. I don't think.
Isn't it like swagger? Isn't it like,
Charisma.
yeah, he wanted to like charm her.
But charisma is not a verb. I don't think you
I thought you had to say, how do you say Riz?
I
Is
don't
it
think
rizzed up?
I actually don't know the answer to that, but I don't think you rizz up anything.
Okay, we need to call Elsa. I need to call Elsa again for what's going on. So bussin'. It's bussin'. Waffle House is bussin'. Straight bussin'. And did the polar bear, is the polar bear trying to rizz up the other polar bear?
What
Elsa,
is,
let us know.
But part of me thinks that those words are actually have come and gone.
So we need new words.
I don't know. Like you're asking, I don't know.
We need to call Elsa once a week.
Yeah.
Not only to talk to our kids,
but the
just to
bottom
let
line
us know
is
what's
this.
cool.
But we don't need to be like, regardless of if those words are correct and like in right now, I don't think we need to be using them.
Okay,
I think regardless of if bussin' is being still said, we never need to be using it.
Can I bring one? That's fair. Can I bring one up that I want to use so badly?
No.
Can I just do it real quick?
Yeah.
When someone asks, or if you bring something up like, oh, do you want to have what's the couscous recipe? What's it called? You make these. You're on a kind of on fire with meals lately.
Okay.
And you've got a couscous one. And you're like, I want to use it. The phrase, I'm with it. I love when I hear people say that.
Well, that's not.
I love it, but not. I'm with it. It's not necessarily what I would normally say, and it's definitely a younger person thing. But I think it's so cool. I'm with it.
I don't think it's that cool. Like I don't think that you couldn't use it.
Okay, like I can't say slay. I can't say slay.
Are you saying that because I just posted slay on my Instagram?
Did you really? I did not see that. You're younger than me though. You can
but
do all this.
first of all, slay is not cool. Slay was like we started saying slay when Beyonce came out with Lemonade in like 2015 or 16.
So you're kind of a starter for that one.
I'm not a starter, but I do have a tank top that says slay, but
You
I
do?
wouldn't say that's cool. Like that's like millennial.
Okay.
But are you a millennial?
Yeah, I
am. The fact that
barely.
you're a millennial and I'm a millennial doesn't make sense.
Nah, I'm telling you. Well, it's 1,000 years.
Apparently. But all I'm saying is this. We can know what the trends are.
Yeah.
But it's even if we use the trends, we're not cool. So we need to age gracefully and not say things like rizz up. Because A, you said it wrong.
Okay.
And B, it just, if we dead seriously said like Waffle House is bussin', I just don't think it would hit right.
All right, I'm with it.
So that's fine.
Okay,
I don't
I'm
mind.
gonna go with
I don't
that.
mind. I'm with it. I don't mind that.
We have a funny thing on my Tuesday Night Dungeons and Dragons group, Anna, that I
Why
know
didn't you tell me
are
that my
jealous
shirt
of.
was up in my armpit?
I actually didn't notice. But we have a couple younger kids. Two of the folks are younger.
Where?
At the D&D group on Tuesday nights that you so desperately miss out on. And my buddy Alex and I are
how old
older
is younger?
than 40. They're in their, like, they come straight from college. They come straight from
Oh
UK.
my gosh, bussin'.
Yeah, they're bussing. So they can say all the cool things. So Alex will always, because he works at UK, and so he'll always hear the slang, and he'll just randomly throw out the weird words that he hears, and it
How
always
does it make
gets a
you
kick
feel?
out of him. We always laugh.
Does he say it like
Oh,
ironically?
absolutely, it's a joke. Because
That's the thing.
And he doesn't know, like half the time we don't know how to use it, so he'll just throw it in.
Do you know?
And it always gets a good laugh.
The
it
other
always gets a good
day,
laugh.
I was in a van driving someone that I work with, and it was like him and like his band members, and they are so young.
Yeah, they're babies.
Like they are young. And I said something and I was like, that's bussin', as a joke. And his band member was like, oh my gosh, it's like hearing my mom say that. And I was like, yes, that's correct. And I need to
thank you.
die.
There actually could be our ticket to like at least knowing, just so we know.
Yeah.
So next time you run into the influencer, you know how to talk to her. I don't want you to have I want you
well,
to be
but
hip.
she's older than me.
Dang, girl.
My issue with that specific girl, and I don't need to say her name because I'm not trying to like trash talk anyone. Obviously, she's literally probably making millions of dollars by just showing me what she eats.
Yeah.
But like,
she made some good burrito tacos that looked amazing.
But like, she gives to me on the internet. Tries to
try hard.
Please be obsessed with me.
Yeah, I agree.
And then some people are just cool. Like I think I believe her name's Avery Woods, something, and she's like just cool. And I want like once I'm not pregnant anymore, I just like will buy everything she's ever worn.
Whatever happened to Addison Rae?
I wouldn't say that she was an influencer.
Wasn't she?
I mean,
the
I
big
guess she
TikTok
was.
Person?
Yeah,
like
she
during
like
COVID,
did dances. It was like she was like one of the first ones that like did all the dances.
Okay.
I feel like she was more so just people were like, "Ooh, she's hot," and she like did all the dances.
The booby shakes.
Yeah, and like butts, and then like her mom dated Young Gravy.
That was a great story. That
But
guy was wild for a second.
This girl that we saw is like
That
the
guy
girl,
slayed.
the kind of girl that's like, "Hey, get ready with me as a mom with 4 kids," and then it's like the ASMR stuff where it's like click, click, click. Pff, here's my moisturizer. Pff, here's this. Oh, let me wash my hair.
And you know what's dumb? You sent me one of them. And because, like you said, it's like the ASMR thing.
Yeah, you're just like...
The way they film it, you can't stop
no,
watching. I'm like...
it honestly
bang,
annoys
boom,
me.
boom.
And even like...
Why did I just watch that for 40
so
minutes?
It like annoys me too, but I can't stop watching it. And then she was like, "Oh, like, watch me pack up my car for a 3-hour drive." And it's like... and you're just like, ugh. Like, why are you buying all this stuff?
Yeah.
It's 3 hours. We didn't even buy that for our family of 4 to drive down.
I've got to assume a lot of it she gets, which is why you need to become an influencer just to get
I don't
free
want to.
stuff. We don't need any more stuff anyways.
Nothing.
Like besides McDonald's. Sprites.
I am so terrified of like sex trafficking and like people looking at my children on the internet weird.
Mm-hmm.
I could never.
Yeah. Thank you. That's dark. That
How often do I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm not with it.
Dark place, the internet.
It's a dark place. I was going to say something that was going to be somewhat relevant to what we were just talking about, but then it got a little bit serious.
It's just a PSA.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it's a bad PSA.
I don't either. I wish that you wouldn't have a public profile.
And then let me see. I know what we need to do. I need to see if there's any comments to read.
Comments?
We always do comments at the end of the podcast.
Maybe I've never made it this far.
No, there's no way you have. Let's see what we have here. I think there are some long ones. We'll see. We've got...
Do people comment? Oh.
I think Ian had too many comments.
Oh,
Ian
my
had 1,
goodness.
2. Ian had 3. So you want me to pick a number 1, 2, or 3?
3.
Okay, so that would be this one. He said, absolutely hate visible cables. I was talking about that cable by the TV out in the other room. Drives me crazy. I'd have to take it out a lot of times. He just put in Cat 7 Ethernet cable throughout his house. Going to start hiding other cables soon. Good luck with that.
Why don't you do that?
I would love to. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to Google search it. Okay, and then Yvonne said, hope you had fun at Waffle House. Have wanted to go.
Oh, wait. She's never been either. Do they not exist in Washington?
No, I don't think so.
Not at all. Well, I need to Google that. There has to be one in Washington.
Okay.
Where do like truck drivers eat?
Denny's.
Where do you go when you're hammered?
Denny's.
Denny's is like
a satellite. Spokane
Denny's
satellite.
Is like
and
nice.
then you pay
Denny's
for way
is
too many
like
meals.
Upscale.
Yeah, Denny's is upscale.
Did
she
you
also
type
says,
that smiley face?
Where at the end of at the top?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like it?
Yeah, flirty.
42, flirty and thriving. Have you? She said you might get a gift before you read this, but if not, gifts for all, including Jovi. I think she has made blankets for all of our kids, and she's made a new one for Woods.
Good, because we need some. Because I had to throw some away last week during the great stomach virus of 2024.
We did lose some to the stomach virus because we had some that Olivia puked on. We couldn't. You washed them. Our whole house smelled like bleach. You washed these blankets so many times, and they were just
my hands are bleached. Like they'll never recover.
Let's see what we've got here. Ron says this. A few years ago, we were visiting some friends that moved to... Oh, no, I already read that one.
To
Never
Dayton.
mind.
I already did that one.
I forgot to delete it. T-Bone, Travis said this, my brother. Need a Deal or No Deal Island update. Did you stick with it or bail on it? Might have missed this update on a previous pod. Travis, I watched the first 2 episodes. It was really interesting, and then I stopped watching it. So I need to get back on the Deal or No Deal Island. Now,
Can I say
Ann and I are on Survivor.
This triggered a thought.
Yeah.
I know you don't like these to be long, but...
Yeah, we're wrapping up.
You suck at picking a show to watch with me and watching it. All I want to do is watch Love Is Blind every single night and get done with it because it's interesting and like it's been done and people are talking about it and I want to be in the know.
Yep.
And we watch like one episode a night and you're like, all right, like I'm done for the night. And then like the next time I'm like, let's watch another one and you're like, I'm not in the mood.
Can I
have
be
to
honest?
be in the mood.
Love Is Blind didn't catch me. Like you know what I felt this year with Love Is Blind? This year it felt
because we
fake.
have to get to the
But this year it felt too fakey. Like it felt like that one dude, the blonde dude who was going to date Megan Fox.
Jimmy.
He seemed fake. He seemed like he was in it fake. The other one, Jeremy.
What do you mean fake?
The guy with
like
the great radio voice.
Acting?
Yeah, like we've hit the point of Love Is Blind.
Well, everyone is going to be on there just to be on there.
But I think some of those early seasons we watched, it didn't feel as much like that. And
we're not even
really
to the good
felt
part
forced.
yet.
Like we're trying to make drama. I don't know why that bothered me. We also don't have access to Netflix anymore.
I know. Can
Lisa,
someone
come
like
on, Lisa.
buy us Netflix?
I mean, come on. Thank you to Brandon for letting us use Paramount, or we wouldn't be able to watch Survivor. Appreciate that.
Do you need to take your bone with Paramount here in this space?
No, it's just that one. I think I figured something out. I've got to unplug and replug in that TV upstairs. It will reset the connection because Paramount upstairs on our TV, every 5 minutes it will like buffer. It drives me crazy. All right, babe. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're the best. I hope that we will talk again soon, and later this week I'll talk about how that's going to happen.
Oh.
All right.
What was that called? A teaser?
A tease, a little tease.
Bussin'.
A little tease, kind of like that smiley face you saw on the Spotify.
Flirty.
Send in your comments. We'll be read at the end of now. I think I'm having a problem reading.
Are you having a stroke?
Yeah, I think I've had like a 3-month-long stroke. All right, goodbye.
Bye.